Russia looks powerful from the outside. Nuclear weapons, a massive military, and the image of a global superpower. But behind this powerful facade lies a very different reality. Fear, censorship, poverty, and silent suffering that much of the world never sees. This is the dark reality of Russia, hidden behind the headlines. Stay until the end to uncover the truth few people talk about. Russia, a country whose name instantly creates an image of power, history, and mystery. Snow-covered lands, nuclear strength, massive military influence, and a reputation that makes the world pay attention. To many people, Russia looks like a symbol of toughness and control. But behind this powerful image lies a darker reality that most people either never see or never talk about. This is the hidden side of Russia, a reality far deeper than what headlines usually show. Imagine an ordinary man walking home through the freezing streets of Moscow on a winter night. The city lights shine brightly, luxury cars move through the roads, and giant buildings dominate the skyline. But beneath this modern appearance, there is also fear. In Russia, freedom of speech officially exists, but speaking openly against the system can become dangerous. Journalists, activists, and political critics who challenge powerful authorities often face pressure, threats, or mysterious consequences. Some suddenly disappear from public life, while others are silenced in ways that raise serious questions. In such an environment, telling the truth can sometimes feel like the biggest risk of all. Now, look at Russia's political system. From the outside, it appears stable and highly organized. Elections are held, speeches are given, and institutions continue to function. But many critics argue that the system is tightly controlled behind the scenes. Opposition figures often struggle to gain influence, and political competition becomes limited. Over time, this creates a situation where power remains concentrated in the hands of a few people, while ordinary citizens feel like their voices matter less and less. For many Russians, politics is no longer about hope for change. It becomes something distant, something they simply learn to live with. Then comes the role of media and information. In today's world, the internet allows people to access different opinions and perspectives instantly. But in Russia, media control has become increasingly strong. Certain websites are blocked, independent journalism faces pressure, and narratives are carefully managed. Many people rely on VPNs and alternative platforms just to access uncensored information from outside the country. But not everyone has the knowledge or ability to do that. As a result, millions of people only see the version of reality presented to them through controlled media sources. And when information itself becomes controlled, people slowly begin to lose the ability to separate truth from propaganda. But Russia's dark reality is not only political. The economic side tells another difficult story. Russia is one of the richest countries in the world when it comes to natural resources. It has enormous reserves of oil, gas, minerals, and energy. On paper, such wealth should create prosperity for everyone. Yet the reality is very different. While a small group of elites enjoy massive wealth and luxurious lifestyles, many ordinary citizens struggle with inflation, rising living costs, and limited opportunities. In smaller towns and rural regions, life can become extremely difficult. Some areas still lack proper healthcare, infrastructure, or stable employment. The gap between the rich and the poor continues to grow, creating frustration among the population. And then there are the social problems, issues that often stay hidden behind Russia's strong global image. Alcoholism has remained a serious challenge for decades. Many people turn to alcohol to escape stress, loneliness, economic hardship, or emotional pressure. This affects families, health, and entire communities. Depression and mental health struggles are also widespread, yet discussing such issues openly is still difficult for many people. In some areas, crime rates remain high, and law enforcement is not always trusted equally by everyone. These problems slowly create a society where survival often becomes more important than happiness. Another disturbing aspect is surveillance and control. Russia is often considered one of the countries with powerful state monitoring systems. Cameras, digital tracking, internet monitoring, and online surveillance create an invisible pressure on society. People become careful about what they post online, what they say publicly, and even who they trust. Over time, fear does not always need direct force. People begin censoring themselves automatically. This silent fear becomes part of everyday life. But perhaps the most emotional part of Russia's reality is the ordinary people themselves. Most Russians are not politicians, soldiers, or billionaires. They are normal people with dreams, families, and struggles, just like everyone else around the world. Parents want a better future for their children. Young people dream of freedom, opportunities, and success. Many want to travel, build careers, and live peacefully. But the system, economy, and environment around them shape the limits of those dreams. Some people try to leave the country for a better life, while others stay because they have no choice. International conflicts and global tensions have made life even harder for many Russians. Sanctions, political isolation, and economic pressure directly affect ordinary citizens far more than powerful leaders. Prices rise, businesses suffer, jobs disappear, and uncertainty grows. Decisions made at the top levels of politics often become burdens carried by everyday people. And while governments fight over power and influence, it is usually normal families who suffer the consequences the most. At the same time, Russia remains a country full of contradictions. It has incredible culture, brilliant scientists, rich history, world-famous literature, and talented people. Cities like Moscow and St. Petersburg are beautiful and historically important. Russian art, music, and achievements have influenced the entire world. This is what makes Russia so complex. It is neither completely dark nor completely bright. It exists somewhere in the gray area between pride and fear, strength and suffering, power and silence. So the next time you hear the name Russia, do not only think about military power, cold winters, or political headlines. Think about the hidden realities behind the image. Think about the ordinary people living under pressure, trying to survive, trying to dream, and trying to build normal lives inside a complicated system. Because every powerful country has stories the world rarely hears, and Russia may be one of the strongest examples of that reality. This was the dark reality of Russia. Uncomfortable for some people, controversial for others, but important to understand if we truly want to see the world beyond appearances.